Every photo you've ever taken, every document you've written, every song you absolutely love, it all exists somewhere, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about where? The journey that information takes, from just a fleeting idea in your head to a permanent part of your digital life. Well, that's the story we're going to dive into today.
I mean, where do they really live? It's a simple question, but trust me, the answer takes us on this fascinating trip through the technology we use every single day. And that whole journey, just like any great idea, it all begins as just a fleeting thought.
Think about what's happening right now as you're working on your computer. You're typing, you're designing, you're calculating. All of that immediate action, it's happening in this very special, but also very temporary place. It's just like a thought. It's brilliant, it's super fast, but it's also incredibly fragile. And this right here, this highlights the huge challenge we've always had with digital stuff. On one side, you've got primary storage. It's volatile, which is a fancy way of saying it needs power to remember anything, and it's temporary. It really is like a thought you might forget. But on the other side, you've got secondary storage. It's non-volatile. It holds onto your data even when the power's off. It's permanent. The entire story of storage is all about how we bridge that gap.
So this temporary workspace, this is what we call RAM, or random access memory. You can think of it as your computer's consciousness. It's the active thinking part. But, and this is the big catch, if the power suddenly cuts out, poof, everything you haven't saved is just gone. Forever. So obviously, we needed a way to preserve these thoughts, to give them a real, permanent home.
And that's exactly the journey we're going on. We'll start with that fleeting thought and see how we build a massive library for it. We're going to meet the amazing mechanical scribes that first recorded our data, then explore the silent vaults of modern tech, pop up to visit a library in the clouds, and finally try to wrap our heads around the incredible scale of our digital universe.
So to solve that big problem of our data just vanishing, we needed to build something that would last. A library. And this is the world of secondary storage. A place where all of our digital memories can be filed away safely, ready to be pulled out whenever we need them. Every kind of storage, every digital library, is basically built on these four pillars. What's the physical stuff it's made of? How much can it actually hold? What kind of machine reads it and writes to it? And maybe most importantly, how fast can we grab a memory off the shelf? These questions really define all the technology we're about to look at. Our first stop is with the true workhorses of the digital age. These are the incredible mechanical devices that, for decades, have been just diligently writing down our history. Imagine a tireless, microscopic scribe spinning at unbelievable speeds.
So check this out. Here's a look inside a traditional hard disk drive, or an HDD. See that delicate little arm? It moves with unbelievable precision over these metallic platters that are spinning thousands of times every single minute. It's a true marvel of mechanical engineering, physically writing and reading the ones and zeros that make up your entire digital life.
So how does this spinning disk actually become a library? Well, its surface is organized like a perfectly structured archive. The data is laid down in these perfect concentric rings called tracks, and then those tracks are broken up into smaller pieces called sectors. It's this incredibly precise filing system that lets your computer find that one specific file among billions and billions of bits.
And this whole idea of physical recording, it also applies to things like optical discs. A laser beam scans the surface, reading these tiny little bumps and flat areas, we call them pits and lands, as a language. From your old music CDs to high-def Blu-ray movies, it's just another form of a physical scribe hard at work. But what if you could store memories with no moving parts at all? No spinning, no seeking, just silence. Well, that brings us to the next massive chapter in our story, a revolution in storage that pretty much changed everything.
And I mean, the difference is just stark. Look at this. On the left, you've got that beautiful but super complex machinery of the hard drive. And on the right, the elegant simplicity of a solid-state drive, or SSD. The key difference? Absolutely no moving parts. And this wasn't just a small upgrade. It was a complete reimagining of how a memory could even be stored.
So instead of moving parts, solid-state storage uses electronic circuits, microchips, to hold all your data. And this makes it ridiculously fast, way more durable if you happen to drop it, and yeah, completely silent. That speed didn't just make things a little better, it fundamentally changed how we use our devices, enabling everything from laptops that turn on instantly to the sleek, snappy feel we expect from all our tech now. Today, these SSDs are really the unsung heroes of speed. They are the reason your modern laptop boots up in just a few seconds and your apps launch instantly. They've really set the standard for how responsive we expect our devices to be.
And then,
This same powerful technology just kept shrinking until it could fit in the palm of your hand. Flash memory cards are these tiny but mighty little vaults that can hold thousands of high-res photos in our cameras or expand the storage in our phones, safeguarding huge collections of our most personal moments.
And of course, there's the wonderfully convenient USB drive. This is just solid-state storage that's built to travel. It gives our work, our projects, our photos the ability to move through the physical world right alongside us, making sharing our files so simple and so direct.
Okay, so we've built this amazing physical library, first with spinning parts and then with silent chips. But what if our library didn't need to be in the same room as us? What if it could be everywhere all at once?
And that's the real magic of cloud storage. When you upload a file to the cloud, you're not actually sending it into the ether. You're saving it on really powerful computers. We call them servers in a data center somewhere in the world. And what this does is create a personal library for you that's accessible from your phone, your tablet, your laptop, basically anywhere you have an internet connection.
This journey from our personal files sitting on a single drive all the way to a library in the cloud, well, it scales up in a way that it's truly mind-boggling. We're no longer just talking about our own memories, but the collective memory of our entire civilization.
To put that into perspective for a second, just consider this. The U.S. Library of Congress, which holds millions of books, photos, maps, and recordings, has a digital footprint of roughly 3,000 terabytes. That is a staggering amount of data, and it represents the memory of an entire nation.
And this is what a piece of that massive library actually looks like. This is an enterprise storage system. It's just racks upon racks of drives that are the physical backbone of the cloud, of big business, of government archives. Our entire digital world, it runs on hardware that looks just like this.
So, where does this story end? Maybe with this thought. Technology is advancing so incredibly fast, it's really no longer science fiction to imagine your entire life, every moment, being stored on a single device. The question isn't really, can we store everything anymore? It's should we? And in that infinite library, what is truly worth remembering?
If you found this journey through our digital memories helpful, or maybe even a little inspiring, please do share it, give it a like, and subscribe for more explainers just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.